Let's try it again with my mic unmuted. That would work well. That screenshot was the background to the PU report. It was this thing. So let's go to, which one is it? That one? Is this what you're after? That thing? It's the Lawville Sky background doodah. What's it? Do. Cool. Fantastic. Okay, yes. So it's the background to the PU report. So the new Lawville change that's coming in 319. So yes. There we go. That's what that is. Single track. I did it. I did the thing with the stream and the. So what that experience has told me, the whole trying to get thing in, is restream.io, which is how I was able to go to live across Twitch and Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. They want to charge me $20 for the privilege. The downside to that, excuse me, while I die a little bit. The downside to that is that in order to be able to do anything with like the stream, so scheduling it, putting a picture on, adding my own chat and stuff, takes more money. So you've got to go to a pro account from that. So no, thank you very much. Lovely, but no, I won't. So there. So yeah, that's where we are at the minute. But just thought we'd head down maybe towards Huston. No, so it's not a one-off, it's a subscription, 20 quid. It's 20 quid monthly. So it does some cool things, like it enables you to pull stuff all together, but I think until like my streaming is, there's enough in my stream to warrant really looking at it in any depth, then no, I won't be doing that, because that's more than enough money. It just doesn't need to be that costly to do this at all. That was not the point of it. I'm doing this mainly because I enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it enough to spend lots of money on it every single month, just for the privilege of streaming to one person on Twitch and 0 people on Facebook. So, no, I'm alright. Thank you very much. But yeah.
Welcome.
So yeah, they're whinging at me because I've cancelled it. So they're like, "Oh well, why have you cancelled? Come back to us. We love you." Not so much. Right, so I thought, just while we kind of get set up and I get my life in order, that we could head down towards Hashton and see what's down there. Because we've obviously had the fun with the Black Kite Reclaimer mission here. I thought we'd go and see what the one at Hashton is like. Hangar 04. And while we do that, we can have a little bit of a chat as to the state of the game, where we are, what's fixed, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it is. Everything is a subscription. Exactly that. And I think if you're professional enough at this and that, and you want to spread your platform and you want to build audiences on different platforms, then Restream is remarkably easy to use, because I use it. And if I use it, it has to be remarkably easy to use. Unfortunately, it's not so much the case that it's cheap. But, whatever. Let's get rid of... So, I've done the Black Kite mission a couple of times, and every single time, can confirm it reoccurs, there's a grenade launcher to be found on the planet. Oh, sorry, on the in the salvage hold. So you've got to do a little bit of jiggery pokery with a salvage tool and whatnot. But other than that, you can go and find yourself, should you so desire, a grenade launcher every time you're on board. So that was quite good fun. So I've got a few grenade launchers now. But I thought it might be fun. Ugh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's close that one. Let's open this one. Bless. I saw a video from someone. They've only just figured out that there's a component storage under here. Component storage. Ta-da. I'm not sure which one it is. It's normally got it written on it, but this one doesn't. Oh, radar. There you go. That's what it was. Access below stairs. But yeah. So, thank God Star Citizen isn't, right? Unless you want to be. I've said it now, you watch. Subscription fees incoming. Don't do it to a CRG. Let's get out of here. So yeah, how have people got on single? I can't remember whether you had managed to get into the game recently or not. Is it have you managed to get in? Is it a change? Is it stable for you? How's it working? Hello to everyone else, by the way. Feel free to say hello in chat. I generally am interactable for 2 hours a week. I feel like that's enough. Like, I've done enough humaning recently to decide that 2 hours a week of humans is more than enough humans for a week. But, you know, you're my people, so... Because we all do Star Citizen and stuff. So that's okay. Okie dokie, look at the mess of it out here. Oops. Sound again. It keeps doing that as well. Luckily, I can fix that through the keyboard. Yeah, so What's the plan with your PC upgrade then? Is it like, are you doing a full rebuild, or are you? What's the story? You're just doing a little bit. Um, that's cool. I can make that jump. A full rebuild. Cool. Awesome. Um, yeah, it is. It is very, very rough. Let's have a look. So, gave up till point 1 or point 2. I can get in, but completing anything other than PV bounty is rough. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it's not going to be cheap, mate, is it? But yeah, it's a bit of a. So they seem to have confirmed now that we're getting ripe. We're getting ripe. We're getting ripe. Apparently, we're also getting wipes with both point 1 and point 2. So we'll take in our life into our own hands by alt-tabbing out of this and see what they say in a second. But let's have a look. Where are we? That one? No, you're not going to give me that anyway. That's great. Helpful. Thank you. Really still not helpful. Okay, so what they've said about this is that they want to do wipes with both point 1 and point 2 patches, which hopefully they will do fairly soon, right? Hopefully that means point 2 comes rapidly after point 1, because you're just not going to get the people to test point 1. Everyone's going to be sat there going, why would I bother when you're just going to wipe it? So I'm not going to get any I'm not going to get any items. Maybe we'll get money, maybe we'll get rep, but I am kind of hoping that they hit the rep, because as you're saying there, Monster, there's loads of missions we can't complete at the minute. So in the Microtech well, I can't actually do delivery missions at all, because they just, missions that we've known for ages have worked. Pick up a box, take it here, drop it. Apart from weird things like the bots glitching through the ship or not staying on the ramp when you pull a ramp up. Other than that, they've been pretty reliable, right? And they're just, at the moment, they're not. They're really not wanting to play. Finding the same with bunker missions. AI not spawning when they should. And of course, you then fail the recertification. So even though there's a cooldown period on the rep, and it goes from being in the red to being neutral again, you've lost your chance to go back into those missions. And I think the only way you can kind of get around it is by going and getting someone else to share a public delivery mission for you, and then you go and complete it, and maybe that brings you back in to the fold. Maybe it brings a rep up, but I can't confirm that because I haven't had the chance to try it yet. But we'll give it a go. We'll see where we land. Sorry about the not being clear, sniffling and all that, but it's bank holiday weekend here, as it is in a lot of places. So naturally, I catch a stinking head cold, which means my sleep was out of whack and all sorts. So yeah, it's fun or something. But coming up to Huston now, we'll see what we can find. Hopefully, we can find something with the reclaimer to go and do, because I've cottoned onto something in those reclaimer missions that I'm really enjoying at the minute. So I did a stream at 5 a.m. with the guys. Yeah, mate. Yeah, so kind of, and then kind of not. So both, basically. I've slept for a couple of hours, but basically depends on my ability to be able to breathe, and at the moment I'm all... So, we'll get there at the end. Yeah, right. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's go Massabry. It doesn't look like we've got... Oh, there are derelict outposts on Hashton. How long have they been there? That sounds like something I want to go and do. Let's go and pick up a call to arms in that case. Investigate, research, probe deployment. That sounds rude. Let's not do that. No. And then hopefully we'll have something along the lines of the reclaim a mission if there is one here. If not, there's one down in thingy. So let's do that. Cool. Right. So it's on the other side of the... So what if I go towards Stanhope? I think that's going to work. Only one way to find out, I guess, isn't it? What could possibles go wrong? But yeah, so I think we've kind of talked about this before, but in terms of the patch, yeah, it was a train wreck, right? And I think the bit that they did that was unforgivable was they did this on a Friday, knowing full well, you know, these guys aren't... You might have some tech support, but the people who are going to fix the problems, really fix the problems, aren't going to be working Saturday, Sunday. They might even, you know, if they've got any sort of sense, they might even have some leave booked, ready to go, you know, for after the patch is gone, thinking, phew, that's done, I can take a couple of days off to visit family or whatever, right? And then, well, it just doesn't, it doesn't pan out for them, unfortunately. So yeah, I think that was where they really went wrong, because now that, you know, then they had to really struggle with how do I get everyone back, how do we, you know, how do we get them back, how do we sort all that sort of stuff out. But it did, you know, it's obviously not solved the problem, unfortunately. Right, we're just going to have to full speed this down there. Yeah, so that was it. I mean, I think the big takeaway for me was what seemed to happen was they did something that was for once not content focused, right? And you can see things like the Vulcan and the Gen 12 renderer. They were fairly big back-end stuff, but they weren't intended initially to bring massive improvements for you and I playing the game. It was laying the foundations for all that to happen, to start to free up resources. It did have an impact for a lot of us, and that's great. But that, you know, when you saw there was an interview on Star Citizen Live afterwards, and they were like, we didn't expect that to happen. It's good that it did, but that's not why we did it. You know, it's great that it's kind of played out that way. PES is such a big technical milestone. So what we've had is we've had the point patches in 316 and 317. We've had a bunch of dynamic events. We've had all this stuff that's trying to give us content and gameplay and fix bugs and all that sort of stuff. And then all of a sudden they bring in something that just was a big kick in the nuts reminder that this is an alpha. And, you know, it broke everything, unsurprisingly. AV, yes, yeah, it was really smooth in the PTU. Yeah, and it just got bundled by all of us. You know what I mean? It just got absolutely humped by everyone jumping on it all at once because it had been so delayed. Everyone wanted to give it a go, try this new thing. There was soft death, there was all this, and it just, they've actually said, I think, while we're doing this, I'm going to take our life in our hands for a second time and see if we can get onto Spectrum. But they've actually talked about, they found part of the problem. So I can't remember where it was, so excuse me while I flick through. No, it's not this one. I think it's the more recent one. And it actually says, we uncovered an issue with the identity service related to player IDs, which was revealed through the error 414 or 40,014 that some of you may be encountering. While we've resolved this issue and many others like it, we still require a wipe to get all our cogs and wheels back onto the right place. For both Alpha 318.1 and .2, we will perform wipes alongside a hearty list of improvements and optimizations. So yeah, I mean, unless basically they're going to give us kind of, give us 318 and 3.1 and .2 in quick succession. 2 wipes incoming. Not clear whether they're full wipes, partial wipes, whether one will be full, one will be partial. But they've obviously, they can see far enough ahead that they know that the .1 fix isn't going to be enough. So maybe they will just lump it all together. We'll see. But yeah, so, and this is why I should never actually fly anything in real life, because my ability to knock things and make it go where I want it to go is legendary. So, yeah, this is why I'll never even try to be a pilot. But yeah, it's it's a shame. I think one of the other things they did, which was a huge mistake, was they were still pushing the ads on YouTube. And now the likelihood is they'd arrange that well in advance to all go live at the same time. But there is absolutely nothing under any agreement ever where you can't stop a company from running your ads. So it doesn't, because you think about it, right? Let's say you find you're doing an ad for car seats, you find something safety related to the car seat, you can always pull that ad, right? That would be standard across all contracts. So you can go, no, not doing this, not playing this. I don't want to do this anymore. So I think that the real problem then was they kept pushing it like a live game on YouTube ads, and it's not. No, this isn't. It's not what's happening. And Avi, you just said there, which one's supposed to be the Invictus patch? Would think they will want things going good for a free fly by then. Yeah, and I genuinely think they need to, in the nicest possible way, they need to get their big boy pants on, and if it is not suitable for free fly by then there shouldn't be a free fly, and they just need to bite the bullet, right? Because they'll do more harm to themselves reputationally. You can't do that and not expect people to get massively miffed off. And for the memes to continue about, no, look at the state of this, blah 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 blah. So you can't have it all ways. So I'm not entirely sure which one the Invictus patch is going to be. It won't be one. One was rushed out too quickly. Maybe it was 19. Because they'll want to show off like Lawville for it. So maybe it'll be a Lawville Invictus. That would be quite cool. But yeah. This is one of the green areas, and there's some water. This is all looking very, very idyllic. Let's see if we've had a reclaimer mission pop up yet. Doesn't look like it. Invictus is normally end of May, beginning of June. Somewhere in that time slot. So yeah, it's looking pretty dodgy as to whether or not they're going to be able to get, things fixed by then. There's a Vanguard 1. There's an Anvil Hurricane. What's that? Gladius, Stalker. Okay. Yeah, so I think it's looking fairly dodgy that they'll get things done in time to do that. But, again, this is part of being an alpha, and in the same way that, we're expected to suck it up and, come on, guys, it's an alpha, you need to bear that in mind, blah, blah, blah. Well, so do they in the nicest possible way, and they, at points, are going to need to understand that, it's not as simple as, oh, well, this is where we get our money, so we'll just keep doing that. Well, I mean, possibly, but at the same time, you don't necessarily get to just, well, we want to make money out of it. It's like, yeah, but, at the nicest possible way, at what cost? Making money is one thing, but, have they considered reputational damage? Have they considered any of those things? Let's have a quick sneak peek and see if there's any people kicking him out. Doesn't look to me, does it? There's some bodies. Cool. This is interesting. I was going to say, where's all the... What? So obviously one of the masks they've applied to the area with lichen is having a bit of a mare. Oh, that's someone there, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, weapons hot, boys. He's hoping he doesn't have a sniper rifle. These settlements are getting bigger and bigger. It's down here. I quite like this because one of the things that's kind of becoming rapidly apparent from these missions is the rewarding for exploration. And that's why I want to do one of the Reclaimer missions tonight as well. Is that they are very clearly trying to reward you for taking some time to, walk around and see what's about. Which is kind of cool. Because you've got the people at the moment who are absolutely focused on UEC per minute and all that sort of stuff. Whoa. I don't know if that was... This is a bad time to be doing this. Contact. Sorry, boys. I'll come back to talking in just a second. Yeah, don't... Can I reload and not have... and have a few more than 2 rounds? Thank you. Is that you there? Cheeky. Saw ya. Okay, so clearly I should be not taking my own safety as much for granted. What did he hit me with? P4AR, of course he did. Oh, this is not where I need whiteout conditions. Come on, boys. Give me a break. Oh. Cheeky. Holy moly. Correct. You were close. Interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, I think they need to think long and hard about what they do with Invictus, and come to a decision fairly quickly. Just because, you know, of exactly what you guys are talking about, the long-term damage they can do to themselves. You know, look how long it took companies like Allo Games with No Man's Sky to recover from the problems that they had. You know, and the reputational damage they did to themselves. They've got to be super careful with how they play out over the next however long. But we'll see. You know, not for us to decide. We can only say what we think is best, I guess. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh. Let's see how much of this stuff I can carry on me, just in case we end up with anything else cool whilst we're zipping around and doing stuff. I suppose I could always dump some stuff elsewhere. Didn't really want to do that, but yeah, okay. It's always the same sorts of places you find loot crates in. So that's a helmet. If you guys could see anything added to 3.19, within reason, what would you go for? What would your feature or ship or gameplay loop or improvement of choice be? That looked like it was someone for a second, but it's not. Of course, it's not an easy way up. Why would there be an easy way up? That would just be silly. Right, we'll come back to that. I have to say, if persistence and inventory bugs stop, then in theory we might get some improvements to trading quanta, because the whole C is due by IAE. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see whether or not that actually puts in its planned appearance. I hope it does. But given the kind of rough few days that they've had recently, I'm not taking anything for granted, put it that way. Let's get rid of here. Can that go on there? What's it can? That would be silly. Why would that fit? I could just go and empty this stuff outright, but I don't actually like those. Where I can go. Well, I'm still here. That's the main thing, right? Yeah. Unfortunately. So yeah, stability across the board has to increase quite clearly, because this can't keep up. I just get a stutter and then that's it. I don't know if anyone else gets the same sort of thing, but I'm running this on a 5600X. I've got a 3080, so it shouldn't be booting out to this. Not that you know spec matters much in terms of optimization right now. But what I'm saying is, it's not like I'm bouncing along the bottom of this thing. It's all being run off at solid states. It's all being run off of various bits and pieces. But solid states and 32 gigabytes of fairly decent RAM. So let's find out if I'm still there or whether we are now back in microtext atmosphere. Well, I guess I'm back in microtext atmosphere. Wow, that's not helpful. So crash recovery's been okay. There's not been anything stupendous. That's a little bit incredibly frustrating. But oh well. Yeah, do you know what? Shadow Girl mentioned something the same with XMP. I don't think I've got it on in the minute, but I'll have to check. Maybe that's what it's doing. Maybe that's what the issue is. If I've got that switched on, then maybe that kills it, or kills the issue at least. I don't know. Yeah. What do people want to? What should we go and have a whack at doing? Should we what do people fancy? I can do some salvage if people fancy salvage. I can do whatever people fancy doing. Let's go and get my chip back first, though, shall we? And then figure out what we're going to do from there. It's always this stuttering that makes me very, very nervous.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your insurance claim has been sent. Please visit us again.
Okay.
Goodbye.
So what have we got? What else have we got to muck around with? Yeah, like I say, I've got no delivery missions at all now. I've just been repped out of them completely. Unfortunately, so I think it's the UDM stuff. So it's fine. I'm not on any particularly, I'm not on a bad list. I'm just apparently not eligible, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. I don't know if that one is that on the ground or is that a ship one? Do we know? If it's on the ground, that might be quite good fun. If it's in a ship, then maybe not. Just because I don't trust the game to do that properly. Yeah, so Ghost Hollow is definitely the crash reclaimer. It's just whether or not the ship there is whether the mission itself is something in orbit over it, or I guess there's only one way to find out, right? Let's give it a go. Ah, yeah, okay, so it's shoot people on the ground. He comes out to play. Cool. We can do that.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Please visit us again.
What's the employment opportunity mission? Oh, not that one. There's one at Ghost Hollow. We can start chaining these things. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? There we go. Yeah, gotcha. Tee-hee.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay. Thank you, and please visit again.
That dude seems a little bit confused. Let's go and switch the missions around just quickly. Mercenary accepted. Mercenary, that's the one I wanted. Right. Oh, of course it would be in the dark. Why not? Cool. Yeah, so real question is, will there even be enough to trade between space stations to make the whole sea worth it? And if so, won't it break the economy for all other cargo ships? So this is something I think X and I and the Infrarunners have talked about at quite some length, but the way I would expect it is there are going to be cargoes that make trading in an Avenger Titan worth it, and there are going to be cargoes that make trading in a Hull E worth it. And that's likely to be that the smaller the cargo space, the richer the cargo. So it's going to be like, you're going to be shipping, priceless heirlooms. So you might only have one SCU of priceless heirlooms, but it will be, a lot more money for that one SCU. Where your Hull E is going to be shifting aluminium or iron or something. So, but it's doing so at such a quantity that it's still making a ridiculous amount of money to do so. So, yeah. Retinol, I'll bear that in mind. Thank you very much for that. I'll hopefully I won't embarrass myself and get sniped out. I have restarted twice so far, but thankfully both of them were for bugs. So I feel like I'm kind of spinning on the spot with those lights on. So, but yeah, we'll see. Unfortunately, obviously, because it's a head cold, this is not my stream favourite of Hazy Jane. I am just on Coke Zero. But hopefully by next Sunday I'll be partaking of a real drink as opposed to some fizzy stuff. Yeah, I think, you know, it's like the Orion, right? Your prospector and your mole are going to be hoovering up minerals that are much richer. You know, your Orion, by the time it's found the rock and fractured it apart, it's done so much damage to the rock. There's going to be very little of that material in there. And I think we're kind of dreaming if we're expecting, maybe they'll come across once in a blue moon, but Orion-sized Quantanium rocks. I think the Orion is literally going to be, give me everything, and it's just going to suck it all in, and turn all of it into money. It's going to be more quantity than quality. And the transports will be the same, right? You are never going to make a profit in a Titan. You know, an Avenger Titan selling aluminium or iron or, you know, coal or whatever it is I'm going to sell. But in a whole E, if you want to fill that, you are going to have to. And the other thing is that's actually, interestingly, a self-defense mechanism also. Because, you know, everyone points out that the whole series, that the cargo's on the outside, it makes it easy to steal. What do you want with that much aluminium? What is that much copper going to do for you? Right? Because you rock up with your pirate Cutty Black. Like, how much copper can your ship take? What's the money it's making? Like, what are you actually getting out of that sort of a trade? And the answer is nothing. Right? You're not making anything out of it. Hey, Matthew. Hey, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, what I'll probably do is work down from the hill retina onto the vehicle pad. So they put in a vehicle garage now, with an old, I think, a Rover in it that's being worked on. So I might fight my way down to there and then see where we go. I might be cheeky and then land right on top of the thing and just shoot off the roof, just because I can. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's kind of the trick with the larger ships, is they're going to be shifting lower cargo. But I mean, that's quite clever, right? As a Hull E, you're like, well, you could take all the aluminium you want. You know, I can carry whatever it can carry. That ridiculous amount of cargo, and you know, whatever you're going to be pirating isn't going to be massive. No, mate, I'm struggling enough with 18. And I think one's locked at the minute. I think it's actually 2 on the PTU. So I might give that a go next Sunday, but I just wanted to take a last little look at 18 and just have a little bit of chat when conversation allows, just to talk about where it is and what it's doing, and you know, what we might be able to expect or not in the future. But yeah, exactly that, right? Because it's the quantity, it's the whole D's and E's. You know, it's going to be food, it's going to be the stuff that's absolutely needed to be moved around, as far as the game is concerned, as far as Quanta is concerned. But not necessarily profitable for the smaller quantity, for the smaller capacity ships. Good. EPTU ran all right for you. Well, I mean, that's encouraging. At least we seem to be making some sort of movement. Good. Wow, this is proper whiteout conditions. Proper whiteout conditions.
Landing gear deployed.
Do you know what? Let's not beat around the bush. You monsters got missile launchers? Bet they have. Jesus, how many people are on the roof of this thing? Hey! Go on. And you. Walk into my stream. There you go. Lovely. Who needs up? Oh, hello. Jesus. Look at them. Hostiles remaining. Is anyone reading that? Holy moly. Wow. Okay. Well, let's go and put ourselves down anyway. Oh, no, don't want to do that. Landing in third person is not... no, let's not land there. I'll just fall out the back ramp otherwise. Yeah, I'll do. Something tells me this is a bad idea. Get good. Yeah, cheeky sod. Yeah, 61. Why not? This is the bit that freaks me out as these guys over here. Look. That's one down. Please don't do that.
I'm gonna mess you up. You picked the wrong guy to screw with.
That sounds terrifyingly close. Terrifyingly close. Is that a guy there? Apparently not.
Someone get eyes on this slippery bastard now.
Yes, he's down here, isn't he? They're in here.
Where the hell they go?
Hi, boys. Why am I hearing landing complete, takeoff complete? I shut my engines down, goddammit.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
I mean, so you say.
What's the gun?
Does someone nick my shit? No. Okay, so landing on the roof, if I had to do it again, I wouldn't. That's where the reinforcements are coming from. Well, that was just rude. I had med pens on that. I kind of don't want to go down that ladder because I know that... Right, let's just stock up again. Yeah, you cheeky sods. I had no idea they were going to do that. What about you? You got anything good for me? Both these guys have. Right. Yeah, this was not the fight I was expecting, boys, if I'm going to be honest. Okay. Well, I'm not very keen on either of my options for landing. Or for getting down there. Because both of them feel really exposed. I know I'm going to regret this. So, yeah. If I'd known there were that many of them down here, do you know what, an A2 would have been perfect. I'm not feeling that out there either. Well, none of you have got anything useful. I don't like these bits because, if I'm being honest, it all feels far too exposed doing this. So this is the garage bit that they added. Yeah, tier 3. Gee, I wish I had a Pisces. Wow. Well, this is a little bit challenging. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be with you for much longer. I reckon. Flank round. There's definitely someone up there. And I'd rather not go face checking his hut. I don't know if you can see much of this, but the brightness levels are just enough for me to be able to see stuff. Yes. Yes, you are. Nope, clear. Only 49 left to go. John, would be nice if the storm would just F off. Like, I keep imagining I'm hearing things. That's what an LMG's for. Paranoid, I'm just going to get... What's that? Oh, there's someone there. You were right about the yeah. You were right about the spotting their lights at night though. Good call on that one. Sit down. Oh. Right. Yonk. Yonk. And yonk. Are they dropping more reinforcements? Oh, fuck off, fellas. This is bad enough as it is. There is one up there, and I can't see him. Is that him there? Nope. Apparently it isn't. Ugh. No, don't do that. I mean, hey, Notorious. Dude, yeah, sorry if I'm not talking much. I got myself into a mission where you go to Ghost Hollow and you've got to kill bad guys to get the big bad to come and find you, right? And apparently, 78 bad guys is a reasonable number. So, yeah. We're working our way through them, mate, but I might be a little bit quiet while I do, because they're not going down quiet. Oh my god. Quietly. Wow! Oh dear. Oh, that was just... Yeah. So I'm not even going to ask anyone to come into that for me. Yeah. Because that's just ridiculous. Yeah. That's that, I guess. Yeah. There we go. Lovely. Oh, that was funny. Oh, that was funny. Yeah. Yeah. There is that. You know, I can't think of anything more boring than clearing those guys from the air. And I know you've kind of got to do it, but you know, yeah, yeah. Sorry about that, Raider. It was, you know, it was all going well. We were separating them out. No one had a line of sight for long, and then for some reason, I was trying to back up over whatever the hell was behind me, and it was just having none of it. So, yeah, oops. Sure, I'm gonna put that in there. And then let's do Trash Man just while we're talking. So I missed up a whole bunch of, like, stuff. So I'm just going to catch up with some of that. Yeah, that whole that begged for a purchase. That just to turn myself on my side and just hammer it with size 7 ballistics until I had no ammo left. But you know, whatever. That was it's good fun. I just think, you know, it's like do 12 people in a bunker or 78 of them in an open location. Oh dear. Yeah, we were. You know, I don't know if that's what we were seeing or whether
This is a reminder that patients and guests are not
the
allowed in the staff
the
lounge.
Badger repeaters from like the Pisces were just they needed to hit a couple of times, but people seem to be getting back up quite a bit. Yeah. So, oops. But yeah, it's I mean I don't know, I don't know where that's come from, but 78 of them is daft. I mean that's 37. That's 39 grand in call to arms bonuses by itself. That's just not funny. But yeah, you know, whatever. Right, let's have a look. Undersuits, what we got? Just give me the stone ones. No, not that. Just give me the earth. I don't want Arctic, I just want... I want it orange. I want it purple. I don't want it violet. I just want it... Don't want any of these. They're all rubbish. Fine, whatever. Misuse of purchasing coming. Yeah, I mean, that's just like a bazillion torps. It's only size 5s. It's not that much of a waste. I'm just going to fire size 5 torps at everything. Right, what's this guy made of? I want that one. I want the red because it looks cool. So there. I want that one. I want that one. Bet it doesn't have a backpack though, does it? And I want that one. Okay. So here's a question. You can see you're talking about the Anvil Cap ship. If the Anvil capital ship wasn't a direct combat vessel, so it's not a ship of the line designed to engage the enemy directly, what would you want it to be? If you couldn't have that, I've seen this horror movie. It doesn't end well. It really doesn't like me walking past that location, does it? There we go. Fixed it. Hopefully the audio isn't glitching out for you as much as it is for me, because it's really glitching out for me. Let's go and have a look what we want next. Hello? Yeah. Sorry, do you know what? That is driving me up the wall enough that I'm actually going to go and stand somewhere else. Interesting. You go for the anvil longbow as a carrier. Nice. E-warfare ship. Drone carrier combat. Nice. You're saying all the right things. Yeah, no, I'd like both of those as an option. I think they're great. In fact, all three of those as an option. They definitely need to start picking up their carrier game. Because we do not have enough, nowhere near it, as far as I'm concerned. I don't even know what I'm looking for at this point. I'm just kind of running around. Because I've got enough kind of... So we got a knife. We got a pistol. Probably not, but that's not going to be the end of the world, because then I can just grab one of those, pop it on there, grab one of those. That's sidearm only, is it? Okay, fine. No, let's not do that. Yeah. Right. Couple of these. An oxy pen just in case. Take a crypto device. Yeah, that'll do. Hope it isn't a carrier, but if it's not direct or a carrier, then it kind of leaves either E-War or some type of stealth corvette, which leans on Polaris, maybe a bounty or a prison ship. Do you know what? I was thinking about this the other day, and I was just thinking about how interesting it would be to have prisoner transport as a viable thing that you can do. So you go and you load up with stasis modules, and then you actually transfer prisoners from one location to the other, and then you could be the location for a mission to kind of come and try and, you know, like the Caterpillar mission that we have now, but you are the mission, you know, and they try and come and deal with you. I think that would be really rather cool, but, you know, what do you guys think?
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Please visit...
CRG loves selling ships. They do that, mate. They absolutely do that. Careful. That sounds dangerously like gameplay. We don't do that gameplay here. We don't do gameplay. We just want JPEG ships. But yes, absolutely, mate. Yeah, I do like the idea of you know, being able to move prisoners around and stuff like that. I think it's a natural progression when you look at what they've got planned for bounty hunting. It would just make sense to me that if you're going to get stasis pods to put characters in, and, you know, potentially even players, although they're going to have to be very careful about how they do that and not have people troll the hell out of it. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how they play that out. Do you know what? Just before we do that, I'm going to do one thing. Before we play that game, I'm going to do this first. not wanting to remake the mistakes of the past, I'm actually going to take some ammo with me because I'm very good at not doing that. So let's take some ammo with me. What other weapons can I take? What ammo do I have? Lumia 5, D'Amico's, C54 SMGs. Probably I haven't got anything that'll fit anything in here, right? Oh, no, I do. So let's go with that one. Let's go with that one. And let's go with that one. And then I'm done. Just because. I think we're going to get a bigger ship transporting ships as the Liberator, but in line with the... Yeah. It's definitely not a carrier. Definitely not a carrier. Definitely not a carrier. Yeah, So, I mean, that's probably worth getting into now, right? I've got some issues with the guns they have at the minute. I should absolutely not have been able to do what I did with the FS9. The FS9 should be inaccurate. It should just be a crap ton. That's what LMGs are, right? A crap ton of rounds. You shouldn't be thinking, do you know what, running round a bunker, sprinting, coming up to shoot. The assault rifle should absolutely outperform the FS9, and it doesn't to any measurable degree. You know, you get 4 times as many rounds in an FS9 as you do an AR4. So that's why everyone does the, you know, does the FS9 bit. Not again. Don't do it now. Please. Please. That's OM5, so where's OM3?
Thank you, and please visit again.
There's OM3. So the nice thing is, you know that Ghost Hollow's somewhere down below OM3. I think we've also got a mission marker to pick up a package, haven't we? So we can still go down there and do that as well. So let's go accepted, retrieval op, track, because now I've got a marker on Ghost Hollow. Yay! Also, oh look, the sun's come up. Great success. And there's also a death marker that I don't want to talk about. So, there. Yeah, so, blessing. Yeah, mate. So, yeah, so the LMG, I think if you're able to set it up somewhere, it can be very effective, right? So whether they decide to bring bipods into the game or whether you can actually, what they call post up, so you can actually rest it on something and you kind of use that to support it and you use it almost as a pivot, you can be very, very effective at range with it. The problem with it is they are so large and heavy compared to their assault rifle counterparts that just the act of having it at a low carry, you obviously can't move very quickly. So if you're sprinting, you don't have it at a low row ready. You've got it at your waist, right? To then bring that up, shoulder it, and shoot with any degree of accuracy takes you a considerable length of time in comparison to an assault rifle, purely because of the weight of it, the inertia, and all that sort of stuff. In the same way that, you know, running around with a pistol is much easier at point blank than an assault rifle is. It's the same concept. It's just a much bigger weapon. So hopefully they will go and do a balancing pass where you have assault rifles will be a nice balance. They'll be accurate at range, but they'll also be not inconsiderate within bunkers and close confines. SMGs will be the other side of that. They'll not be that great at range, but they'll be very good, better than assault rifles in bunkers, You've then got the pistol, which is your sidearm, which is hopefully, we get some more interesting, something along the lines of the shock pistol, the frag, the coda, things that are not just able to put more rounds down, but meaningful distance. Maybe that's where the taser goes, right? In your sidearm slot. You've got your LMG, which is designed to give fire support to covering troops, to keep your enemies' heads down. And the only way I can see that working, if you play games like Hell Let Loose, which is a personal favourite of mine, and I might actually at some point, I might do half a stream on Hell Let Loose. I might get some buddies with me, and we'll do vehicle gameplay, and I'll kind of demo what really, really good vehicle gameplay looks like. Not us being amazingly skilled at it, but how vehicle design, really good vehicle designing games, what that looks like. Because you have 3 crew in a tank. You have your commander, who has all the visibility. They're highest up in the tank, so that's where their periscope sits. They get all the information. They can do all that sort of stuff. But they can't do anything. So the person with all the information has to communicate it to everyone else. The gunner, there's no third-person view. There's no nothing. You're looking out of a gun sight, right? And that gun sight moves as fast as your gun does. Yeah, Notorious. Maybe we'll go and do some of that. There's a link in the video description to Discord and stuff. So go and add yourself to Discord. At the moment, my username is Magellan106, purely because I'm locked out of my main account at the minute. I need to get my mobile back online to get my passcode to get out of it. It's a long story. But one of the things that game does is it has a suppression mechanic. So Hell Let Loose on your infantry, if you get fired at by anything large caliber, you get explosions near you, or you get a machine gun fire and the rounds are coming close to you. They don't even have to be hitting you, they can just be whizzing over your head. You get a suppression mechanic, and your screen goes slightly blurry, and the longer that it occurs, the harder it becomes to spot stuff and all the rest of it. And you've basically got to take cover, get behind something hard, or not be shot at for a while to clear that suppression mechanic. And what it does over and above any other combat game is it basically has you... It completely negates the people who are like, oh look, I can do whatever it is I want to do. I can 360 no scope you after you've put 3 belts of 7.62 down at me. And it's like, no, you can't, because you can't see stuff. You've got increased weapon sway while you're under the effects of suppression. When you go up to aim, your vision tunnels, so you lose a lot of your peripheral, and it's just a bad place to be. And it gives machine guns and LMGs, medium machine guns, it gives them purpose, because they are inaccurate when you compare them to single shot assault rifle, rounds and all that sort of stuff, or assault rifles on single shots. And then you've got your snipers, which is a very obvious role, but again, I think silencing sniper rifles is an interesting choice, because that should be the drawback, right? You hit really damn hard. And they should also, I think, in order to be the most effective, to be the large bore ones, should be bolt action. Or there should be some other drawback, that they've got a very low rate of fire. Because otherwise you can just go click, 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 dead. Look at me, I win. Which is, let's face it, it's not a fun way of playing that game, right? So yeah, that sort of stuff. And then hopefully we can do some... Yeah, absolutely. I think the problem is at the moment is that if I was PvPing, my loadout of choice would be an FS9 and a grenade launcher. Just because your FS9 deals with everything. and your grenade launcher. If you look at a lot of the combat buildings that they're building at the minute, so if you look at Horizon and all that sort of stuff, people coming out of a lift, you stay out of their sight line, you wait for the doors to open. The minute you see the doors opening, you just start spamming grenade rounds in. And you put grenade rounds through a doorway, and they've got no chance to react because they're not even going to see where the grenades are coming from before they all start dying. You know, if you really want to be clever about it, you have a person on either side of the doorway. And it just creates this really awful, you know, crossfire that people can't deal with. It's that choke point, right? You can imagine it when you get to Horizon. You get to like the platform that the dynamic event was for the siege. You had two groups of players there. If one group of players could go right up to that shuttle, the minute the shuttle doors open, everyone that's arriving dies. Because there's no need to, you know, all they'll do is they'll just spam grenades through the doorway, a railgun shot, a missile launcher shot, throw grenades. There's nothing you can do in that shuttle but die, or sit right at the back and then the shuttle departs. So I think, you know, they need to make it a little bit more interesting. I would be interested to know with the grenade launcher specifically whether or not they do that again. Or whether they kind of regret putting it in. Yeah, we were talking a little while back about, AV, about like the modules you can put on armor. So can you imagine if you had an image module that you could put in, a communications module that extended your comms range? You could put something in like some sort of vent module that reduces your IR signature or whatever. You could put in like a personal locator beacon, so a coded one, so that when you land, if you take damage when you're out and about, rather than having to set a beacon, it automatically sends one, but to the people on your of your guild or of your outfit who kind of know where you are. You know, so they received an encrypted thing. There could be, you know, there's quite a lot of mileage, I think, with that. Lol. Well, that works. Lol. I mean, all right. I don't want to sound too harsh. Sometimes it is quite fun to sit out here with a cannon and just delete people at range. No, stop! I hit entirely the wrong button. Okay, so I go back to tracking the other one now, do you think? Alright. Right, let's go F1. What do you mean, wherever they are? I'm in a ship hovering over your... Wherever they are. Where do you think I am? Oh, that's the multiple Drake Buccaneers that are blocking my landing zone, god damn it. Now, what about the guy I just heard talking? Where's he gone? Oh, hello. So still 19 guys hanging about. Are you kidding? Scream if you see any. We got all the ones on the roof, didn't we? What about over here? Oh, what's that? Oh, hello. What are you? These are Drake Cutlass. No! No! Oh, here we go. What am I missing? Wings. Bits. God damn it. Anyway. Moving swiftly on. Nobody saw that, alright? That was definitely not. That was not me. Oh, interestingly though, I don't know if anyone's noticed, that did not come off the casualty count. Oh, hello. Surprise, motherfucker. Really? Really? Dude, what is this guy made of? He's not made of anything anymore, but what is this guy made of? Here, this one. Get wrecked. I quite like that the downdraft from this thing is just punting people all over the place. Yeah, that wasn't a crash. I was just trimming the fat off the thingy. Are they all going to be in there, do we think? Or are they going to be ones still sat outside being sad, just waiting for me to pop out? Oh, hello. Ugh. There we go. Better. It's interesting that those headlights come in when you zoom into them. So that dude's dead. What else is down here? So this is the thing, right? Is I see the point that everyone's saying about do this from space, but you also see how unfazingly boring this is. Just watching like
Landing gear deployed.
it's just miserable. Oh, hello. I mean, get fucked.
Landing complete.
Okay, I'm not going to glitch out and do anything stupid, am I? Nope. Right, have we got anyone waiting to ambush me as I come down the ramp, despite the fact I'm now missing a wing? Nope. Doesn't look like it anyway. Oh. That was entirely unintentional. Apologies to anyone who just jumped and cacked themselves like I did. Right. Shut the engine down. Again. Like I did last time, but it... What?
Contact. Engines online.
Just, I don't know anymore. Can we not? Can we not do that again? Would that be okay? Whoa, it is intent on throwing me in the air, isn't it? Let's try this way. Let's try D'Amico. Chris D'Amico. I don't even know anymore. Ugh, whatever. Still with the storm. Jesus. Kiki. Kiki. I showed someone over there shout. What is this? Yeah. So that's that. Yeah, which is about right on time, right? So, yeah. that was a little bit gnarly. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the wipe. Next week I'll be trying out EPTU if it's still going, which I'd imagine it will be. If it's not, then we'll be trying out whichever patch has come to live. But yeah, once again, guys, thank you ever so much for tuning in. I finally fixed the whole letting people know that I'm coming on and then being in the right stream, so that was nice. Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. You've been watching Drinkers with Gaming Problems. Thank you very much for stopping by.